sun rose softly over the Pride Lands, spilling golden light across the endless green. The air was calm, the rivers glistened, and the land hummed with life once more. But beneath that beauty, something unseen began to stir. A quiet unease, like the breath before a storm. Kaira had brought back the roar, the sacred voice of the ancestors, the force that bound every creature to the circle of life. Yet every gift of power demanded balance. And balance, Rafiki always said, never came without a price. As dawn settled, the old mandrill climbed the high cliffs overlooking the valley. The wind tugged at his grey fur as his wise eyes clouded with vision. A strange tremor ran through the earth, faint but familiar. When power awakens, Rafiki whispered to the wind. The shadow that once held it awakens too. Far from the green plains, beyond the safe reach of Pride Rock, the forgotten outland slept beneath dust and ruin. Bones cracked under the dry wind, and from that silence, a lion rose. His mane was streaked with silver, his body scarred by time and battles long past. His golden eyes burned with a haunting glow. His name was Rocker, a name lost to legend, buried beneath the history of kings. Once Rocker had ruled beside Scar's pride. He had not been cruel, but consumed by a desire to prove himself worthy of greatness. When the roar of the elders vanished, he vanished too, wandering the wastelands in shame. But now, after years of silence, something ancient called to him. He could feel it pulsing beneath his paws, a power reborn. Kaira, he murmured, his voice carried by the dry wind. The roar was never yours to keep. It belongs to the blood of the first kings. He lifted his head, and what escaped his throat was not a roar. It was deeper, darker, a sound older than memory. The vultures took flight in fear. Even the desert winds paused to listen. Back at Pride Rock, peace painted the morning. Cubs played beneath the sunlight, and Kovu trained the young lions in the art of the hunt. Kaira watched from above, proud, yet restless. Something inside her was changing. The ground beneath her paws trembled faintly. The roar within her stirred alive, uncertain, as if responding to a voice she could not hear. Rafiki approached quietly, leaning on his staff. His beads rattled like whispers of the past. "Child of the Pride," he said softly, "the roar you hold is not only a gift, it is a memory reborn. Memories are never truly alone." Kaira frowned. "You mean someone else remembers it too?" Rafiki's gaze darkened. "The roar chooses its keeper, yes, but those who once sought to command it, their echoes still remain." That night, the stars dimmed behind drifting clouds. Kaira stood on the ridge, staring into the endless horizon. The wind carried faint whispers, something calling her name. Kovu joined her quietly. "You haven't slept." She didn't turn. "He's out there," she said. "I can feel him." "Who?" "The one the roar remembers." Kovu's gaze hardened, scanning the distant plains. "Then we'll face him together, as we always have." The next day, when the sun reached its peak, the ground quaked. Elephants trumpeted in alarm. Flocks of birds burst from the trees, filling the sky with wings. And then, it came a roar so deep it shook the hearts of every creature. It was ancient, powerful, and filled with sorrow. The sound rolled across the savannah like thunder that never ended. Kaira froze. It wasn't her roar, but it was part of it. It resonated inside her like a reflection, two powers beating as one. From the far horizon, a lone figure emerged. The old lion Rocker, his mane wild, his steps slow but unyielding. He stopped at the border of the Pride Lands, his gaze fixed on Pride Rock. "The roar was mine before it was yours," he thundered. "You have awakened what you cannot control." Kovu stepped forward, his muscles tense, his voice steady. "The Pride Lands are protected. Whatever you seek, it ends here." Rocker's eyes flickered toward Kaira. "I do not seek war," he said, his tone deep and weary. "Only what was lost. But the roar will never rest until it remembers its true master." The air trembled. Lightning flashed, though no clouds marred the sky. The spirits of old kings stirred in their eternal watch. Balance, the sacred circle, was shifting once again. That night, Kaira dreamed. The mists parted, and from the heavens, Simba appeared. His voice echoed through her soul. The roar is not meant to be owned, he said. It is meant to guide. But beware, Kaira. Those who seek to control destiny often lose themselves to it. She woke before dawn, her heart burning with resolve. If the roar chose me, she whispered, then I'll prove I'm worthy of its trust. When morning broke, the pride gathered at the base of Pride Rock. Rafiki stood between Kaira Kovu and the wind that carried Ruka's distant presence. The circle always finds its way, Rafiki said softly. But this time, it may roar louder than ever before. The sun climbed higher. 3 lions stood facing one another, past, present, and future converging under the golden sky. The wind howled, the ground trembled, and the destiny of the roar began to awaken once more.